Hey everybody, Dr. Michael here with Valiant Physical Therapy here in Evanston, Illinois, where I specialize in working with runners. And I have a hot take today. Marathons are overrated. Now, before you get super upset about me, before you get super mad at me, I want to explain. So first, marathons are extremely challenging and they are an admirable goal. And it is very impressive whenever people complete marathons, when people do really well in marathons, when people run marathons throughout their whole lives, whenever people complete a lot of marathons. Marathons are a good goal. There's a lot that goes into training for one, and it is very difficult, and a lot of respect needs to be paid to the people that complete marathons, especially if they're doing it very regularly and if they're doing it well. But the marathon, in my opinion, has become way too popular of a race to the point where a lot of people who really aren't fit enough, or they're really not ready, or they're really not preparing correctly for a marathon, have it in their head that they need to complete a marathon. And it's gotten to the point where I'm working with a lot of people who really, their body type, where they are at in their running journey, where they're at in their fitness journey, a marathon really doesn't fit into their picture very well, but they have it in their mind that they need to complete a marathon, otherwise they're not a runner. They need to complete the marathon, otherwise they're not good enough. They need to complete a marathon because they know all these other people that have completed the marathon. They want to complete a marathon because they got a ticket, or they got an entry, or somehow they think that they need to complete a marathon for some reason other than that it's good for their health. So as I've trained for marathons myself, I've done one Ironman at the time of recording this, and I've completed the race distances. And the reason I completed those race distances was because I had it in my mind that I needed to complete the marathon or the Ironman in order to feel like I've actually accomplished something within the endurance sports world. And in some ways that's partially true because they are very, as I mentioned before, admirable races. But I do see a lot of people banging their heads against the wall or just running into overtraining. They get injured really easily, or they're just suffering in the training, trying to get to the point where they can complete a marathon to say that they've completed it. And it seems almost pathologic with some of the people that I'm talking to that have it in their mind that they need to complete a marathon or that they want to complete a marathon again, when really they would be much healthier and much more suited to just stay at the half marathon distance or even the 10K or the 5K distance. There is a degree of, okay, maybe that distance isn't actually right for you, at least right now. Maybe you do need to train up for it, and that's going to take a little bit longer than you think. But there's a few people in my head that I'm thinking of right now where they have this idea in their mind that they need to complete these really long race distances, and it just creates this constant cycle where they're continually disappointing themselves because they're either getting hurt, they can't really make the training work for them, and they're just struggling to make this race distance happen. And it's all for naught because they don't really need to do these race distances. They have it in their head that they want to. Maybe they did it in the past, but I think a lot of people would be a lot happier if they set their sights on performing well in the shorter distances, like a half marathon, like the 10Ks and the 5Ks, something that where the training volume is a little bit more manageable, it fits into life a little bit more, and they can probably enjoy it a lot more than something like, oh, you have to do a marathon because that's the race for runners, and oh, have you never done a marathon? Oh my God, then can you even call yourself a runner? All that stuff is in my opinion, not helpful for a lot of people. Sticking with the shorter distances and performing them well can really go a long way in keeping you running for the long term and make running a healthy part of your life, not a pathologic obsession with the marathon. So if you know someone that needs to hear that message, send this video over to them. Tell me what you think in the comments, and if you agree with me or you like this idea, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.